On August 16, 2025, a Russian soldier moving through the ruins was spotted by Ukrainian FPV drone operators. At first, he did not notice the drone tracking him, but once it switched to attack mode, he realized the danger. As the drone closed in, the Russian soldier panicked and began to run. But in the open terrain, his chances of escape were nearly impossible. The drone struck an obstacle, but fragments from the exploding shrapnel ricocheted and hit the Russian soldier, leaving him incapacitated despite his attempt to escape. Similarly, many Russian soldiers in open terrain became targets of FPV drones. They fought back in desperation, but none were able to escape the relentless strikes. In Kursk, the UA-Reg team of the 8th Special Purpose Regiment pursued 2 Russian soldiers after their vehicle broke down. An FPV drone was launched to track them down, forcing the soldiers into a panicked attempt to escape. One of them managed to flee in a different direction, but the other was left alone face to face with the drone. The Russian soldier circled around his ATV, desperately trying to evade the drone. The FPV operator patiently maneuvered, looking for the perfect angle. The soldier resisted for quite some time, but as the drone closed in, he fired a magazine directly at it. His attempt, however, triggered the drone's explosion. A Russian soldier tried desperately to fight off an incoming FPV drone of Ukraine's 414th UAV Brigade Hungarian Birds. He fired his rifle, threw a grenade, and even hurled his weapon away in a frantic attempt to escape. The soldier made sudden maneuvers, but the Ukrainian drone operator never let go of the pursuit, ultimately neutralizing him after a relentless chase. This engagement once again demonstrates how FPV drones dominate close combat, leaving no safe options for Russian infantry on the front lines. A Ukrainian FPV drone targeted a Russian military vehicle along a logistics route. The Russian soldier in the vehicle noticed the drone approaching and tried to escape at full speed. He attempted evasive maneuvers, but lost control of the vehicle and it overturned, allowing the drone to strike the vehicle. This time, the target was a Russian UAZ vehicle. The soldier had no time to react before becoming the target of the drone. In the same way, multiple Russian soldiers in other vehicles were individually targeted by FPV fiber optic drones. Soldiers using older Russian military vehicles were completely defenseless against the drones. Repeated drone strikes effectively neutralized both personnel and their vehicles, leaving Russian units unable to maneuver or regroup. The Ukrainian 8th Special Purpose Regiment tracked Russian soldiers fleeing in vehicles. Although the FPV drone initially couldn't match their speed, the Russian troops made a critical mistake. They abandoned their vehicles and scattered. The FPV drone immediately targeted one soldier, who struggled to evade it in the open terrain for some time. The Russian soldier tried everything to evade the drone, but there was nothing nearby to hide behind. He could never find the right moment to shoot it down. The FPV drone, performing rapid maneuvers, relentlessly targeted the exhausted soldier, who kept stumbling to the ground. A Ukrainian FPV drone pursued a Russian soldier. The soldier, rapidly advancing on an ATV, was unable to escape from the FPV drone. Ukrainian fiber optic FPV drones skillfully targeted and neutralized Russian light vehicles advancing in the Lyman direction. This operation was carried out by the Signum Battalion. Russian soldiers moving in older model military vehicles were systematically neutralized by Ukrainian fiber optic drones. Along the same route, numerous vehicles came under the watch of FPV drone operators. Russian soldiers, who typically used UAZ vehicles to transport supplies to the front, were repeatedly targeted by attacks. August 15, 2025. Recon units of Ukraine's 30th Mechanized Brigade located a Russian FPV drone team in Soledar, Donetsk region. Moments later, the building of Salt Mine No. 7, where they were operating, was struck with 2 precise guided bombs. A Russian truck transporting an artillery piece across a destroyed bridge in the North Slobozhansky direction was targeted and neutralized by a Ukrainian FPV drone. Ukrainian aviation unit UTAC team carried out a precision bombing strike on Russian army positions in Tyotkino, Kursk Oblast. The operation targeted fortified Russian positions. disrupting their defensive lines and inflicting significant damage to both personnel and equipment. Such strikes demonstrate Ukraine's ability to combine aerial precision with intelligence from reconnaissance drones, ensuring minimal collateral damage while maximizing operational impact. The Ukrainian Alliance Division of the 225th Assault Regiment continues to push back Russian forces in the Sumy direction. Ukrainian FPV drones infiltrate all possible hiding spots and target Russian soldiers. Here, a soldier revealed his position when his helmet fell off. The detected Russian soldiers were subsequently targeted with high-explosive FPV drones and effectively neutralized. Every area was thoroughly scanned, leaving no place to hide. Ukrainian forces increased pressure on Russian troops using drones, ultimately forcing them out of the region. A Russian soldier tried to throw a TM-62 mine into a Ukrainian shelter, but it exploded prematurely. Ukrainian Wolfhounds of Vovchansk, part of the 34th Battalion of the 57th Motorized Rifle Brigade, neutralized Russian infantry positions hidden within the ruins of Vovchansk. In the Vovchansk area, Russian soldiers established makeshift shelters among the ruins, using debris and partially destroyed buildings to hide from Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian drone units, however, actively targeted these fortified positions. FPV and kamikaze drones were deployed to strike the hidden Russian positions, systematically neutralizing soldiers and dismantling their improvised cover. The drones' precision and speed left the Russian troops with almost no safe refuge, forcing many to abandon their shelters under constant aerial pressure. Russian soldiers often chose to hide among the ruins in Vovchansk to avoid direct exposure to Ukrainian fire and to use debris as improvised cover. However, these attempts at concealment frequently failed. Ukrainian FPV and kamikaze drones, with their precision targeting and ability to quickly navigate complex terrain, consistently located and struck the hidden positions. The Ukrainian Phoenix team of the 45th Artillery Brigade struck a Russian MTLB carrying infantry in the Siversk direction. Despite moving under the cover of night, the armored vehicle could not escape the precision attack. A Ukrainian tank from the 63rd Mechanized Brigade launched a solo assault on Russian positions. The rapid shock attack lasted only a few minutes. The tank moved quickly, firing continuously, first striking a building, then directing intense fire at Russian trenches hidden among the trees. No counterattack came from the Russian soldiers, leaving their positions fully exposed to the tank's assault. Reports later confirmed that 7 Russian soldiers lost their lives as a result of the strike. The swift action of the Ukrainian tank forced the remaining Russian troops to abandon their positions and retreat from the area, leaving behind destroyed fortifications and heavy losses. Earlier today, a Russian mechanized assault near Lyman-Pershi in Kharkiv Oblast was repelled after a T-80B tank and 3 MTLBs were destroyed by mines and Ukrainian FPV drones. The counterattack, carried out jointly by the 429th UAV Regiment Achilles and the 116th Mechanized Brigade, inflicted heavy losses on Russian forces. This unprotected assault attempt ended in a decisive defeat for the attackers. During the operation, Ukrainian forces used drones intensively for both reconnaissance and strikes. Every building and shelter was systematically scanned to eliminate any possible Russian resistance. Thanks to the FPV drone's high maneuverability and precise targeting capabilities, Russian soldiers were neutralized and pushed out of the area. The relentless drone assaults prevented Russian forces from regrouping or returning to their positions. Continuous FPV strikes and bombardments ensured that the area remained under Ukrainian control, forcing the invaders to retreat. As of August 16, 2025, the Russia-Ukraine war remains highly intense across multiple fronts. In Kharkiv Oblast, Russian mechanized assaults continue to suffer heavy losses from Ukrainian mines, FPV drones, and precision strikes. Around Donetsk, Ukrainian forces are pressing with drone and artillery operations, dismantling Russian fortifications hidden in ruins and forests. Meanwhile, in Sumy and Kursk directions, Ukrainian UAV regiments are disrupting Russian logistics and destroying vehicles moving along key supply routes. The use of fiber optic FPV drones and precision aviation strikes has given Ukraine a tactical edge, forcing Russian units to retreat from several frontline positions. The conflict shows no signs of slowing, with drones, artillery, and armored assaults defining the pace of modern warfare. Russian forces increasingly rely on improvised shelters in ruins and basements, yet these positions are being systematically targeted.